Hey everyone! Welcome
Hey.
to I Still Believe in Heroes.
This is not a new host. This is my voice on cold meds.
Yeah, Connie has come down with a cold, unfortunately, but we're powering through.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome you guys.
Hey.
Um,
Did we
how
get
are you? How
did we
you
get
been?
nice feedback? We didn't really. I haven't checked the listening stats or anything, but
I think a couple of people have told me that they liked the episode.
yeah, same.
Well, the episodes, the podcast,
The thing.
which is nice.
Yeah,
We appreciate that.
we do.
So you're very welcome to keep telling us that you like it, because
Yes,
we're
and
attention
once
horse like that.
I mean, we wanted to get like in the beginning we thought, oh, we're gonna release an episode every 2 weeks, and then we released the first episode. We're like, okay, we're gonna do it every week, and now we're like, wait, that's not working. So
And it's like, wait, we have life
oh
as
no.
well. And sometimes our weeks are not compatible
To be
because
fair,
I
I
start
would.
working when you stop
That's
working.
true. To be fair, I would rather record 15 episodes of podcasts instead of going to London with a group of teenagers.
That's fair. I actually have a tiny bit of a correction.
Oh.
So this is our first ever corrections corner.
Oh my god, this time you did the my favorite murder reference.
Yeah, because I don't have a better word for it. It's such a good corner.
Go on.
But yeah, because last episode I talked about 30 Seconds to Mars real quick, and I accidentally said that Shannon is Jared Leto's younger brother, when in fact it's the other way around.
Oh.
Jared is the younger
That's not a
Leto
bad
brother.
correction, though.
So I just want to say, because like I was listening back to the podcast in the car,
Yeah.
and I heard myself say it, and I'm like, why am I such a fucking idiot? So yeah, I just want to put it out there. I know that Jared Leto is the younger brother, Shannon is the older one, but honestly, I don't give two fucks anymore about 30 Seconds to Mars. Okay.
I literally said Mindhunter invented the behavioral science unit in the FBI, and I haven't apologized for that yet, so. And I'm not gonna. Because, like, who knows about American things? I don't.
Who knows? Who cares? The Americans don't.
I mean,
If the Americans themselves don't care, then why should we care?
honestly, the way we talk about Americans, they're never gonna listen to us. Good thing is, today we're not talking about anything American.
No.
No. Well, we could. I mean, if we talk about
I mean,
the thing.
I mean, yeah.
So
depends,
we're talking about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because in the first episode, we realized we could never fit this into a whole episode. And this is going to be part one out of I don't know how many, because there's probably a lot to talk about.
We're gonna talk about lots and lots and lots.
I think I already talked a bit about how I got into Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But my mom got me the books, and I think I actually was 11 when I got it. So that meant I was the same age as Harry when I read the books, which was kind of cool at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always liked stories of magic and like cool occult things. And I mean, I wouldn't call Harry Potter a cult, but you know. And as I famously said before, I think I read the first 3 books in a row. And then the fourth one, like Goblet of Fire, came out. And it came out in English before it came out in German, blah, blah, you know the deal. And now I'm an excellent English speaker. And I'm very modest.
We have Harry Potter to thank for our English skills.
I mean,
basically.
I kind of do, I think. Because I would actually force myself to do the thing. And funnily enough, when I learned another language that I speak, I actually read Harry Potter in that language as well. Because I knew the story and I tried reading it. I don't think I ever finished it. Because I suck at reading Japanese.
It's
That's
hard,
a story
though.
for another time. Yeah, so I got into that, and yes, I am this many years old that I had to wait 2 years for the next Harry Potter book to come out. And so every time it came out in my little small town, the one bookshop that we have, I literally walked there Saturday. It always came out on Saturday. So I walked there Saturday morning at 8 when they opened the store, and I was like, hey, like a creepy meme at the window. And I was like, hey, I heard you guys have the new Harry Potter book. And then I bought it, and I don't think I even made it home. I was literally walking with the book towards my house, and then I just sat down on a bench and started reading. And then I didn't have a cell phone at the time, a mobile phone at the time. And I think at one point my mom came looking for me. She's like, did you get lost? I was like, no, I started reading the book. So that's how much of a nerd I was. I honestly gotta say, I wasn't a fan of the movies in the beginning because I didn't really agree with the casting choice. I love the movies now, but the first one, it was just so weird. If you've always imagined the book in like a certain way and like the characters looking a certain way, it's very difficult for you to accept it looking a certain way or like them leaving stuff out.
Yeah.
So I think the first movie I actually liked was Prisoner of Azkaban, which is also my favorite book. But I'm still team book over everything.
Yeah.
And Harry Potter is kind of like, it's like the Beatles, you know, it's a thing I do when I'm homesick or when I'm sad. I put on the audiobooks read by Stephen Fry, and they're so good. And I love how he reads them so much. So I listen to that a lot. And I have a funny story, well, not funny, but like I was reading Order of Phoenix, and I was reading the book throughout the whole day and the night, obviously. And then, it's not a spoiler alert, I think, my favorite character, who is Sirius Black, died. And I remember it must have been about 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. I was in my bed sobbing with this book open. And my dad came in and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Sirius Black just died. I don't know what to do." And he's just like, my dad looked at me and then he made me hot chocolate and sat with me. Because he was just
Aww.
like, my child is sad. And he actually likes
That's
Harry
so
Potter.
nice.
He's listened to the audiobooks because he drives a lot in his car. And I think that was the story. And I remember reading, the last book came out the year I graduated high school, so I read the book like on trains back and forth between the Munich, where I went to university, and back home, and it was just, there's a lot of memories attached to the books in weird ways.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have so many Harry Potter connected memories. The first time, or it wasn't the first time, but the first time I saw 9 3/4 in King's Cross, I think I cried a bit. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is it.
Same.
This is the thing, I'm doing it. And I went to Universal Studios, not in Orlando, but in Japan, and I cried again. I just looked at the cast and I cried. Since then, I felt way more included, but not included enough when it comes to merchandise choices for houses that are not Slytherin and Gryffindor.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about that, I think. But yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, like the month it opened, I think. I really enjoyed the staged version way more than I did the book version of that. And I'm probably going to think of more things, but that's kind of my Harry Potter story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've talked about my start as well. I was sick. My mom brought home the first 3 books, and I read all of them in like 2.5 or 3 days, and then I just started them over again. And then I did the same thing as you. The 4th book came out and it was out in English, and I bought it in English, and since then I have all the books in English now. I only have up to book 5 in Swedish. I don't actually own the later books, book 6 and 7 in Swedish, because I never got around to buying them, because I was like, I've already read them in English. Why should I get them in Swedish? There's no point in that. I read them and I loved them. I think, like, I still remember going to get the Order of the Phoenix, because it was so warm, and like, I'm from the north of Sweden. We don't really have heat waves. Well, I mean, now we do, because climate and everything's fucked up and stuff, but back then, what was like 15 years ago, something like that, more than that. How old am I? Shit, more than that. I don't know, years. So many years ago. Anyway, there was a massive heat wave, and I still remember like sitting in my room. The window was like wide open, and I was sitting right underneath the window trying to catch some sort of breeze and reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I still remember it so vividly. I can see it if I close my eyes. I can see
it feels like
my
summer,
view of everything.
Right? Yeah.
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 Much like you, like, I owe probably a lot of my English skills to Harry Potter, because I studied so hard for English tests when I was in like 8th grade or something like that. And I got, like, we had, back when I went to school, we had 4 grades. Basically, we had fail, okay, well done, and very well done. That was basically the scale we had. And I was always, like, I always ended up at the okay scale. And I was like, I know that my English is better than this, But I sat down and studied, and I couldn't focus on studying. And then I just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna read Harry Potter instead. And I never, after that, I've never studied for an English test.
Same.
I've just I've just read the same things, fanfics, I've read books, I've read articles and stuff like that. And from that moment, I started getting very well done from like top grades every time.
That's what I tell my students.
And they were like, "What's changed? Like how have you changed your studies?
Fun.
Like like?" And I was like, I haven't. I stopped studying. And they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I started reading stuff that interested me.
Yeah.
Instead of a dry old book from like the 80s.
Yeah. That's why I tell my students, I'm like, you need to like engage with stuff that you like. You're never gonna be interested in anything that you don't like.
Yeah.
Like that's why I sucked at learning French or Latin, because I was just like, yeah, I don't care about all of that. So
yeah, I mean, you have to find something that you really that you find worth it.
Agreed. To
go through all of that. And then the same as you, I went to, like, when I went to London the first time, and we went to we were just there in passing, and I was like, Mom, can we stop by King's Cross? And she's like, okay. And I don't even think they had like a proper 9 3/4 thing back then. But I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is where the train leaves from. And then a couple of years later, we went back again, Mom and I, to London, and we went to the studio tour.
Mm-hmm. I still haven't done that. I'm the worst.
It's so good.
I know.
We really should go.
There's always so much theater happening. I can't.
Yeah. We should go for like a week.
Oh my
God. Then we have time to go, because theater has 1 day off every week, and then we can go to studio tours because they don't take days off.
That's good. We could do that. I'm down.
But yeah, I went to the studio tour, and like there's a picture of me being all dorky in front of the, like, with the studio building in the background, and me wearing my white Hogwarts alumni t-shirt that Mom took. Yeah, I don't really know. Like, my friends and I, we were 6 people going. We were going from Sweden, Thailand, and one person was in the UK when we got together to see The Cursed Child.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because we were all of us were friends, and we knew each other from before. And I sat when they released the first batch of tickets for The Cursed Child. I had my day off, and I think I spent 4.5 hours in that virtual queue. And right when I got there, they were like, the tickets are sold out for the first batch. We were like, no.
Yeah,
what?
And then they added
what?
more.
Like everything was full, and they added more in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I got back in, and I got us I got us fairly good seats. So we saw it in October, I think it was, the year after they released the tickets.
Do you know my booking story about how I got the ticket? I was in London for Hamlet with Benedict Cumberbatch, which was a year before they started showing. So I went to the ticket box and literally bought my tickets in a box in person.
Aww.
And I was so broke that I only went for the cheapest category. And like, people, I want you to love yourself and not get the cheapest category, because my knees after 2 shows, girl, they were done. But yeah, that was I was literally in London buying tickets for a London play a year in advance. I was like, this is the most Conny thing you've ever done. Probably.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I really, really liked The Cursed Child. Like, I don't have any complaints about it as such. I know that a lot of people have a lot of heated feelings about The Cursed Child, but most of them I've found have only read the book.
Yeah, the book's
and not
shit
seen the play
compared to the play.
And that's the thing, because the things that they reacted to in the book, that they were like, no, this is so out of character, no. Like, spoiler for anyone who hasn't watched The Cursed Child or read it, when Harry's like, I wish you weren't my son, or like, I wish you hadn't been born, or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, Harry would never say that to his son. It's like, have you not read the same books? Have you not seen the same movies that everyone else has? Because Harry is impulsive.
Yeah.
And he says shit he doesn't mean all the freaking time.
Which makes him a very dislikable character. I don't think anyone has like has Harry Potter as the favorite character in the Harry Potter books. Like, convince me
No.
otherwise, but I don't think I've ever met anyone who's liked them most.
I don't think anyone has been like, yeah, Harry's my favorite character. Because, and the thing is as well, I know so many people who could do the same thing, who could be like, a lot of people say stupid shit that they don't mean in the heat of the moment. It's a human thing.
You aim low when you're hurt.
Yeah.
I've said shit.
Yeah, because if you're hurt, you're trying to hurt the other person as well. If it's a person close to you and they hurt you, then yeah, exactly. You know exactly what to say. Yeah. So I'm just like, if you read that in a book, of course that might be like, oh my god, that's so out of character. And it's like, for one, no, it's really not, even if you only read it. But the way that they handled that scene on stage is really well done. Yeah.
And in general, it's so beautifully done. Like, the whole effects and the staging is so impressive. Like, even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, I think it's one of the most impressive staging I've seen, at least in the West End. And I just think it's beautifully done. And one day I want to go back and watch. But then again, there's so much theatre to see. Literally today they announced they're doing a new production of Wuthering Heights. And I'm like, I need to go. I'm like, there's going to be so many theatre episodes, guys. But like, I need to do a thing.
Yeah, and it's like, I still remember, because we went out to the stage door after the second show, and the guy who did the Sorting Hat came out, and I was like, oh my god, you were so good. Like, I was proper gushing over him about like how well he'd done. I was like, how do you move your body like that? And he just like this deep throaty, like, full laughter, and he was like, oh, you're good, you can come back. And I was like, oh my god, you were so good. He's like, thank you.
Best stage door moments.
He was so nice. They were all so nice.
Yeah,
that's my Harry Potter story. I actually got in like my Facebook memories yesterday, I'd written something about, oh my god, there's gonna be a new Harry Potter movie like set before the Harry Potter, like during Grindelwald. It's probably gonna be a series. Oh my god, I'm so excited. And now I'm like,
I mean, except for the fact that this one sleazebag is in the movies, I actually like them.
I mean, I like the thought of them. I absolutely adore Newt.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, I was talking to my parents, because my parents saw it in 4D in Australia, and they were like, oh my god, it was so good. Didn't you like it? I'm like, like, I'm not talking about Fantastic Beasts. I'm talking about The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I had with that movie was that they changed some of the stuff that they've already established in the books and in the movies as canon. Yeah. And that's also like talking back to episode 1. That's part of the reason I stopped watching Supernatural, is because the writers changed stuff that has already been accepted as canon.
And that's part of the reason why the Hobbit films aren't enjoyable to me. A lot, because it changes so much from the narrative. Yeah. I don't appreciate, like, I appreciate that they have to modify things from the books, like when we're talking about the movies, making the movies from the books. I appreciate that they can't include everything, and that's fine, but I don't like it when they've established something in a series of films that kind of exist as their own entity. And then they do a series of prequel films and they change something that's already been established as fact after those movies, like in the timeline. I don't like it. It turns me into like an anti-fan, I guess. No, I don't think. I mean, the thing is, like, I was really excited to see more of Dumbledore and his dark past, if you want to call it that. And I actually think
same.
Jude Law is a great choice for Dumbledore, because he has these features or these characteristics. It's just, we're not going to be controversial, but the whole Johnny Depp thing just put me off so much that I don't think I could enjoy the movie even if I tried. I liked all of the other stuff because there's so many Harry Potter elements, and you get kind of lured in with the magic and the cool things and the creatures. And I mean, Eddie Redmayne, we don't need to talk about how great he is and how amazing that role is. And like, I'm so glad a Hufflepuff is getting the recognition they deserve and everything. And it's just, it leaves a weird aftertaste, and I don't like that.
It does.
And the whole thing too about the hinted at relationship and J.K. Rowling trying to fix things. You know, we talked about people fixing things afterwards by talking about them. I'm like, you've done the thing. Now you don't get to talk and you don't get to claim, like, people have seen this, people understood this, don't add to it. Like, actually, there were 43 Muslim students at Hogwarts or whatever. And you're like, don't.
Yeah.
Don't. But yeah. I mean, we'll see. There's a third one coming, right? Or is it more than 3?
I think there's gonna be 3.
Is there more than 3? Is it 7 again? No. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's gonna be 7.
Is it? I'm gonna
God, I don't hope it's 7. Sorry.
Wow.
But I don't like and that's it's kind of a hard thing as well because like my family knows I love Harry Potter, and yes, I do love Harry Potter, but the more like just like you said, the more certain people talk about it and try to like justify it or correct things after they've
5.
already 5 movies. And then it's just like I don't know if this ever happens to you, but like having to explain to people close to you who aren't fans themselves.
Yeah.
And trying to explain to them that like, yeah, I used to really like this and I still like parts of it, but it's not my whole world anymore.
Oh yeah.
It's a hard thing to explain because I still have friends from my hometown who are like, oh, you're really into this, right? And like tag me and stuff on like Facebook or whatever and like send stuff to me. And it's nice that they think of me. Of course, I really appreciate that. But it's also kind of awkward to be like, yeah, I haven't watched an episode of that in 3 years. Or like, I haven't actually seen the newest film yet. Because I think both my brother and my parents saw The Crimes of Grindelwald before I saw The Crimes of Grindelwald.
I mean, I'm a Harry Potter whore. I still went to see it opening week.
I was working nights, so
it lures me in
so
every
I had
time.
that excuse. But like, and then all my friends had seen it, and I was like, I have to see it. But it still took me like a month, I think.
Yeah.
To actually go see it, because I was like, there are some parts I absolutely adore about it, for sure, but
the scene with Nicholas Flamel, I was just like, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, and I was
really
in the
good.
I was in the theater with 2 people who are fans, but not like fans, and I was just like, oh my god, I was freaking the F out, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, didn't you see what was in the safe? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, that was it. I mean, I already said everything, I think. My favorite book is The Prisoner of Azkaban, because until this day, I still think that's the best twist in all of Harry Potter. I know people are going to argue with me, but I think it's the best twist. Yes, don't even come at me with the Snape twist, because, like, I'm not gonna.
I have feelings about Snape, and I don't think a lot of people agree with me on those feelings.
I mean, a lot of people, I think now, at least in my friends' cycle and everything, they agree with my feelings about Snape. So, yes, Prisoner of Azkaban, it has the best twist. I won't fight you on this because I'm right. And it has so many cool things, and it has 2 of my favorite characters who are, like, Sirius Black, obviously, but also Lupin, and he's actually, I think, one of my favorites, and he's one of my big sadness points when it comes to casting, because as much as I love the actor who plays him, that's not. Because I remember there were rumors that Ewan McGregor was going to play him, and I was like, yes, that's perfect, that's exactly. And then it didn't. I mean, and it was just that it didn't get even Sirius. I mean, Gary Oldman, he's amazing, but he's not my Sirius Black and how I saw him. So yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban was my favorite, and my favorite movie I think now is The Order of the Phoenix, because the Prisoner of Azkaban movie has a bit awkwardness to it, and it doesn't really feel like a Harry Potter movie. Because they're not in uniforms and stuff like that, so it feels weird. And favorite characters, definitely Sirius. I love Lupin. I think there's so many interesting characters in Harry Potter that get overlooked, and I still kind of want to know a lot about them. I never was really into Harry Potter fan fiction, so I know there's great ones out there, but I just never got into it.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't ship anything in Harry Potter. So a lot of the fanfic is like...
I got way too into Harry Potter fanfiction.
I mean, I think it's the 2 things. It's the same with Star Wars. It's like one of my absolute big fandoms, but I'm not into shipping, so a lot of the
I've
things.
never read. I don't think I've ever read Star Wars fanfic.
Yeah, I mean, there's the possibility, but I'm just like with Harry Potter and Star Wars, it's so much my childhood that they just don't touch the shipping aspect of it. I don't know. It sounds weird. And yeah, favorite book, favorite film, favorite character, and Hogwarts house, I guess. I'm a Ravenclaw. I've always been. Every test says it, except for that one time when they renewed Pottermore and I was suddenly a Gryffindor, and I'm like, no, I do not accept.
Did not identify.
I have no characteristics of a Gryffindor. I'm a Ravenpuff through and through. If I was any other house, it would be a Hufflepuff, I think. But I'm more of a Ravenclaw.
Yeah. I think my favorite book is Goblet of Fire.
It's a good book.
Prisoner of Azkaban is really close, as well as Order of the Phoenix. I think they share like a shared second placement for me. I've always had Goblet of Fire as like my favorite, which of course led me to being kind of disappointed with the movie.
A lot of it was weird.
Yeah, the movie didn't feel the same, though I have to say that Tennant as Barty Crouch.
I mean, guys, David Tennant.
I mean, I love him in pretty much everything he does, but he does creepy so well. And it's just that's one of the more brilliant things, like one of the more brilliant casting choices they've made, I think, at least according to me. And then I think my favorite movie probably is Order of the Phoenix as well, because like you said, like the first three are kind of awkward-ish. Goblet of Fire, I have some feelings about that. Like there's a classic one with, why did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire, Harry? Dumbledore asked calmly.
The big controversy.
That's like, yeah, and it, like there are so many weird things that I'm like, I don't remember it being like this.
The thing that they made it so gender typed alone is a thing that I didn't like at that time, and I wouldn't consider 2005 me an intersectional feminist at all. But that was just like, I was like, why is there no boys? Why is there no girls on that? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And in the book, I remember being so excited about like the different challenges, especially the underwater one. And it just didn't feel as creepy in the movie. I remember being really creeped out in the book. And in the movie, it was just like, hey, he's a weird mer person. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, and it was, I feel like I know they cut things and stuff because movie length and stuff like that. But I feel like the challenges took up so much of the books, but they weren't really given that much of a focus at all in the movie.
It's like the Quidditch game scenes in all the books, and they were always so exciting and so much fun to read. And in the movies, it was like, hey, here's 2 seconds of this. And obviously, they're not going to do a 1-hour Quidditch game run. I know that. But it was just like, this is the experience of reading Harry Potter. You know, there's going to be a really cool Quidditch match. And
yeah, exactly. So yeah, Goblet of Fire for favorite book, Order of the Phoenix for favorite movie. Favorite character, I'm going to have to say Luna. Actually, I've always loved Luna. I've kind of always identified with her because I've always been kind of the weird kid, and it was nice seeing someone else just like being themselves and running their own race and giving less than 2 shits about anything else that's going on, while at the same time caring for her friends and her family and the world around her, but just like living her own truth.
Like real talk, the first time you met Mimi, did you get like major Luna vibes?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, sorry, this is the second Mimi shout out. We really love her. But like, I remember meeting her and being like, yeah, not because she's super weird, but like, it's just, she has the vibe, and she's a Gryffindor and everything. We know that. We respect that. But it's just, our friend has major Luna vibes. Because she's just like, yeah, I'm doing my thing. She's so supportive and so sweet too. So like, I kind of think she fits that very well.
Absolutely. And then, I mean, I've always, I've read a lot of Harry Potter fanfiction. Harry Potter was what started me with fanfiction. So like, it's difficult for me to differentiate what's fanon and what's canon now at this point.
To be honest.
Yeah, but it's the same with me as Marvel as well, but Harry Potter as well, because I haven't really read the books recently, so I just kind of remember the things from the fanfics that I read the most. So like I like Fanon Snape. I don't like Canon Snape.
No.
I like Draco. I don't think I like Draco because he's an interesting villain. I don't necessarily think that he is a good person in the books.
I think he is, funnily.
I think he got okay. Let me rectify that.
Yeah.
He doesn't start out as a good person.
Definitely not. No.
He like, you can definitely see the potential of him redeeming himself, and by at the end you can see that he's kind of struggling. He's becoming his own person, but there's still, like, where the books leave off, there's still like a lot of things that he has to work through for me. So I like him as a character. I don't necessarily see him as a good person, like in the beginning of it. Who else? I've always loved McGonagall.
Oh my god, yes.
McGonagall is probably like one of my favorites, and Maggie Smith is just so good.
See, and she's like one of those people where, like, I want to know like so much about her and her character, and like, she's amazing. That was actually one of my, I had a list of cat names before I got Ray, and Minerva was on it.
Aww.
But I just thought it was too long for a cat name, because I just end up calling her Meanie or something. Yeah. But
Absolutely.
I mean, she's amazing. She's still.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not. Maggie Smith literally she can do anything. She's like Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
And
yeah, she's a legend.
She is.
Living legend.
True.
And House. I'm a Hufflepuff.
She is.
Through and through.
She's like 100%. There's no other percent in her. She's 150% Hufflepuff.
Well, I mean, I am kind of like, when it's kind of like, you know, the still waters run deep.
Yeah.
If you decide to mess with me too much, my Slytherin side comes out, absolutely. So I'm probably like, if I'd be any other house, I'd be a Slytherin. So I'm probably like a Slitherpuff. If you anger me, I'm a Slitherpuff. But it's kind of funny though, because I don't really have that many Gryffindor friends. Like, there's Mimi, and I think that there's Neela, and that's all of my Gryffindor friends. Everyone else is like Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff or Slytherin.
I have a lot of Hufflepuff and Slytherin friends.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if I have another Gryffindor friend. I do have a couple, but yeah. I think it's just that Ravenclaws and Slytherins and Hufflepuffs are kind of like, they mix well.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a thing where it's like Gryffindors mix well with others sometimes.
We love you, Mimi.
But not all the time. No, but like, and it's kind of funny because I've had a lot of friends who aren't really like into Harry Potter. We're like, oh yeah, no, I'm a Gryffindor for sure. For sure I'm a Gryffindor.
No, you're not.
And it's like, you know what? No, you're not.
No, you're really Karen.
Not.
You're not.
Like, I think almost every person I've met who haven't done any sorting hat tests or anything like that, I think everyone I've met who like have a basic knowledge of Harry Potter, like, yeah, I'm a Gryffindor. It's like, no, honey, you're not. Here, take the test. I can show you you're not a Gryffindor. No. So yeah,
I think everyone wants to be a Slytherin and a Gryffindor. Shout out to Paul Carella, who in his interview said, what? When I asked him what his Hogwarts house was. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to walk out of this restaurant, pay for this dinner yourself. It's a story for another time. It's like, my what? You're like, yep. Sounds about right, Paul. I'm in that one. Draco Malfoy's in. I can't do a Scottish accent. I'm really sorry.
It's like, yeah, Paul, no, I don't think you're a Slytherin.
Anything else? What could we talk about Harry Potter wise? There's so many things.
There are so many things. I don't know.
Ask us Harry Potter things if you want to know them. We're gonna do more.
Yeah, exactly. Ask us all the things.
Ask us about how we are discriminated against every time we try to buy Harry Potter merch.
Yeah. Leave us comments and thoughts about what you want us to talk about. And like, if you have anything Harry Potter specific that you want us to talk about, we can talk about that.
Oh, anything really.
If you have anything else you want us to talk about, we can talk about that. Just let us know and we'll talk about it.
Do we have a nerdy thing this week? Like a very short one? It's
A
probably
very
going to be
short-
Critical Role from Em. I'm calling it now.
I'm just scared. I'm
she's
so
meeting.
anxious. I'm
Oh.
so anxious about meeting Matt. I'm so anxious. I'm gonna make an ass out of myself.
No, you won't. Are you going to be more
But
up
yeah.
and ass running into things and people? Come on.
I
have two very small things.
Yeah.
Well, I interviewed one of my favorite fan artists.
Oh yeah.
Brianna Garcia, and she actually just retweeted the interview. So we're going to link that when we post the episode. It's going to be a week old by then, but like, yay. And I'm meeting her at Ace Midwest in Chicago in less than a month.
Yeah.
Literally in a month, I will have had a photo with Chris Hemsworth.
Oh my god.
It's fine, guys. I'm cool. No big deal.
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, so that's a small thing. And the other small thing is that I got not into a new one, but I got into a podcast because I hadn't caught up in a while, and I started listening to Crime Junkie again, and I just realized how much I love it.
Oh.
Have you listened to it?
No, I haven't.
It's really cool if you want like a short, informative episode. So like I love MFM, but there's a lot of chatting, and I like that obviously because I'm doing a chatty podcast. But Crime Junkie is very informative, and I've been listening to it a lot recently, and I really like it.
Yeah.
That's my stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be Critical Role. They just released level 10 updated official art of the characters, and they're all so gorgeous, and I love them all. They're my children. We've yelled about possible beards for characters, and we've yelled about possible dresses and stuff like that with my friends, and it's amazing. I'm trying to think. There was something else that I was like, oh my god, I love this so much. Oh yeah, I've gotten back into Merlin,
Oh yeah?
actually. And mostly like I rewatched a couple of the episodes, like the first season episodes, and then I was like, I should check on this one fanfic that I really like. And then I do what you do. I started clicking other tags, and then now I'm reading Merlin fanfic. And yeah, I just really like it.
It's good.
Yeah.
2 rediscoveries.
Yeah.
So when this comes out, we will have time to record a new episode. So I hope we'll be back to semi-weekly updates. We don't have a schedule yet, but like if you can,
this is like
we're still figuring it out.
Life just hit us hard, like these few weeks in particular.
Look,
because it happens sometimes. I'm leaving for Stockholm in 50 minutes.
she hasn't packed.
I haven't packed. Then you leave for London on like what, Monday? And then I leave from London on Thursday.
Which means potential meetup if we can manage.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I know that I'm getting to London fairly late on Thursday.
Yeah.
So it all depends on when you're heading out on the Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I come back from London on the 24th fairly late. And then I'm playing D&D on the 25th.
We can manage. We can definitely try pre-recording them if we can manage that.
Yeah, someday.
Cool.
We'll get our act
someone has
together.
to start paying us so we can. No, I'm just kidding. Go.
No.
First, you have to rate, review, and subscribe. Link in bio.
Yeah.
Lol.
Yeah.
Not really.
Follow us on social medias and stuff.
Do things.
At Still
Please.
Heroes.
Ding. Okay.
Ding.
Stay classy, nerds.
We love you 3000.
Bye.
Bye.